Far from the regular space lanes, seemingly unremarkable from the outside, lies an orbital station, and, from its superstructure, that's what you'd think it is. No more, no less. The area around the station is busier than you might expect. There are the crowds of pilots circling, desperately trying for a glimpse of an anaconda inside, and wondering just how you get one to take off from a medium pad. And besides, where the hell is the shipyard in this thing? If you do manage to find a free pad and land, at first glance you won't see anything special in the interior either. Sure, it's one of the very few places where you can buy two rares. But so what? It's only when you stop to look around you can see it's the people that make Hutton so special. Their voices are calm and quiet. Due to their low salt diet, their cheeks rosy red due to the internal application of the universal medicine known as Centauri Megagin, and their mouths spread in a permanent grin, as that's the best way to fit them to the rims of their Hutton mugs. Only, in one small corner of the station is there a semblance of panic and disarray. Studio 5, where a ragtag team of presenters are surrounding the patented scriptomatic upon which they rely so heavily, waiting for words of wisdom, or something at least vaguely amusing, to appear. With a buzz and crackle and a faint whiff of ozone in the air, the machine spits out a piece of paper. One of the presenters grabs it and reads it aloud.
Our mics are live.
Good evening, truckers, and welcome to this week's fun-filled, fuel-filled and fulfilling folly that is Hutton Orbital Live. I'm Harry Balzac, and yet again, I'm in charge of the seams this evening.
I'm Wilma Fingerdew, and I've got a question. Who smells of fuel? Someone smells like they've been showering under the nozzles in the docking bay.
I know what you mean. My eyeballs are drying out for the fumes in here.
I take it that you do not want me to light my pipe right now.
Sorry, that's me. Had to scoop the last few drops of fuel up with my Hutton mug earlier.
And to find out why, stay tuned for the news headlines. When it comes to spam, there's the right way, and then there's the wrong way.
How far would you go?
Alvin, he loves only gold. So time for a new mission.
Hail from the not to scale, as fuel goes cheap.
Colonic Corvette crash causes consternation.
Drought, blight, space locusts.
News from the community in any event.
There was minor panic earlier this week in the Hutton control room as communication channels were flooded with sales messages from a company purporting to be purveyors of that popular 20th century pork product, spam. What at first was a suspected cyber attack by parties unknown, though as spam was so popular on Earth, fingers were pointed at the EDF, actually turned out to be a viral marketing campaign. Robbie Wrongway, long-time trucker and aide to the galaxy's most popular pilot, Flossy, had received a mysterious communication from an archaeological team down on old Earth who had discovered an underground bunker stuffed to the rafters with tinned-formed pork product, bearing the one-time famous logo of spam. In a nearby alcove was a gourmet recipe book detailing countless ways to serve your tinned spam. From spam and chips, spam egg and chips, spam egg chips and cheese, spam on toast, spam fritters and spam surprise. Which is just spam and a fork, the surprise being that there isn't anything else. The communication detailed a get-rich plan to flood the market in nearby systems with this long-forgotten but apparently much-loved foodstuff. But it hinged on one thing: exciting everyone about the possibilities of spam. Searching Galweb, using the keyword spam, Wrongway found countless articles about the very best way to send spam, and duly clicked on most of them. Which of course started spamming everyone about spam. Spam on GalTwit, spam on Galbook, spam was sent everywhere. Pictures, links to articles about the health benefits, clickbait articles stating, "This woman tried spam for the first time and you wouldn't believe what happened next." Unfortunately, Wrongway's marketing was so good that it even went as far as to secure servers, theoretically air-gapped against external data feeds and the quarantined Mr. Dusty virus, which gobbled up the spam and turned it into a self-replicating message, leaving the winking words on everyone's screen, "Give me your spam." Commander Snuggles McKeague sprang into action with his trusty industrial-sized delete button and a team of boffins expert in the removal of such things, and Hutton computer terminals were soon declared spam-free. As for Robbie Wrongway, well, he can be found in his Type 9 with 900 tons of the stuff and a fork, in the hopes he can get rid of the rest of it before Flossy gets home.
Now, you may think it's a long way down the road to the chemist, but that's just peanuts to how far Commander All thought he'd have to fly this week. There he was, minding his own business, looking for settlements on 14 psi Cancri 4A, when his scanners seemed to have received a little more than a Grade 5 engineering upgrade, as he found a load of surface installations that were just a little further than usual. To be exact, 9 quintillion, 223 quadrillion, 372 trillion, 36 billion, 854,775,808 light years. A bit further than Hutton Orbital, in fact. 41 quintillion, 924 quadrillion, 418 trillion, 349 billion, 339 million, 890,000, 36 times further than a trip to Hutton. So just think on. Next time an hour and a half seems like a long trip. Commander All declined to fly to these places, since it would take about 146 million years at 2001 C to get there, and indeed the distance is about 100 million times the size of the observable universe, so you'd need a heck of a load of changes of underwear. The gin is bound to run out before you get there, and we're willing to bet that there'd be no chance of a McThargoid burger when you got there. Still, someone would tell you that they flew it in 45 minutes, and hundreds of suckers would go if they were told that they'd get a free fleet carrier. As it turns out, it's lucky that he didn't set off, as Commander All later reported that all this was down to a navigation error by a new crew member who'd spilled coffee over the console as he was piloting. Apparently, we think he's decided that the previous crew member did a better job, as he says he's reverted to an earlier driver and the problem's been fixed.
If you're thinking of cashing in some exploration data, now is the time! For the next 8 weeks, it could count towards going for Gold 3, a new Hutton exploration event in association with the Hutton Helper. The previous Galactic Squadron competition period ended this morning and Hutton was 7th, without really trying much, with 4.5 billion points or 9 billion credits. Yeah, I know. No, I don't know why either. But anyway, the leaders, the Germans, had 15 billion points, not credits. This is going to get confusing. Our glorious leaver Alvin has decreed that an extension be built to the Hutton Trophy Cabinet, and since he loves only gold, you can work out the rest for yourself. The last time Hutton did this was January 3307, so it was somewhat overdue. and you might get a lovely trophy for your cockpit dash. If you want to join in, you need to do 3 things. First, have the Hutton Helper running, download it from hot.forthemug.com, and if you haven't done that already, why not? Second, be in the Hutton Squadron, that's HUTT, for your efforts to count towards our overall collective tally. Third and last, sell cartographic data in the usual way between 0700 this morning, Thursday, 26th of May 3308, and 0700 on the 21st of July 3308. That might sound a long time away, but it's only 8 weeks, so get out there and get busy. I see a couple of you have already dumped some Carto data and wipe clean your slates. Exploration credits will count towards your personal haul and the overall Hutton tally, tracked as ever by those marvellous techno wizards behind the Hutton Helper curtain. Just look in current events on the Hutton Helper and you will see the Going for Gold 3 tracker page. Which club will you be in? Do you even want to be in a club? Why would you not want to be a member of a club that would let you in? Already, some chuckers have answered the call. Reports that a commander of the leak-munching persuasion between bouts of insulting the Earth Defence Fleet will venture into the black in something he describes as an explorer sidey, whatever one of those might be. Still, it's not about the size of your jump range, it's about the Carto credits you rake in. If you're a bit rusty on exploration or have never tried it, if you don't know your DSS from your FSS, Commander Chicks will be along later and for the next 3 weeks, because we can get a bit better deal on him that way, to give you some tricks and tips to maximise your exploration credits haul. Finally, those chuckers whose contribution is deemed significant will receive a token of the esteem in which they are held by Alvin. Those truckers who were conspicuous in less distinguished ways, for example jumping into a system and getting fried to a crispy pop between 2 stars, or those that faceplant their ship into a planet, may even receive a mention in dispatches.
We received an appeal for assistance this week via a Galnet post, and, as Hutton truckers do, we sprang into action to assist one particular commander. It appears that due to an extended sabbatical and potentially pending porting of his pilot's license from Hotbox-style systems to a PC, a commander codenamed Regression to the Mean inquired as to how Hutton might help him offload his carrier in advance of it being mothballed for a while. The carrier's coordinates: 20,000 tons of tritium, all legitimately obtained. Enough for a few laps around the Milky Way, with enough spare thereafter for a trip 1/10 of the way to Andromeda, where, of course, you'll be stranded with no possibility of rescue. So, we don't recommend that. With his sabbatical pending over the next few ways, and loath to just flush the entire contents to space and set fire to it just for the heck of it, the commander of the carrier not to scale flew the carrier to Epsilon Indy, stuck a price tag of the never to be beaten at this price variety on the cargo, and opened the carrier to any waiting Hutton trucks to assist with the offloading. Like the dutiful truckers that we are, or possibly like sharks sniffing for blood, truckers arrived en masse, including Commanders Aiden, Snuggles McKeek, Flossy, and others. And the Hutton hot bus. This is where things started to get a little out of hand. The tritium went, then the contents of the bar went, then all the toilet rolls from the on-carrier facilities. Some enterprising trucker bought a socket set with an oxyacetylene torch, the wall cladding, the padded seats in the bar, the little projectors that shine the pad numbers in the air, the captain's chair, complete with the little screen, the captain's coffee machine from the ready room, even the empty pizza boxes laying around in the docking bay. When the commander had asked for his carrier to be emptied, we're not sure he meant quite this thoroughly. He has asked for the safe return of his 0G 10-pin bowling trophies and one small cuddly toy bear, who answers to the name of Mr. Hugs. for sentimental reasons. We have reason to believe that said fluffy comforter might be currently aboard the Hutton Hotboss en route to Colonia. The guilty party has said that Mr. Hugs just needed a holiday, and after a few selfies at Fort Mug, would be taking the next hot bus home. We're just hoping that the pet snakes don't snack on him in the meantime. Commanders Flossy and Hanky are said to be replete with fuel now and ready for just about anything, as long as it involves an awful lot of fuel.
Hanky Prime, first of all the Hankies, or is it Hankies? Anyway, found himself on the wrong side of Colonia's legal system this week after playing dodgems with a local hauler. It probably wouldn't have been so bad if he had been in a heavily armoured federal corvette at the time. The self-proclaimed Emperor of all the Colonias had recently reconfigured his cockpit control, so instead of beginning the process of printing a 3D hot dog, extra onions, extra cheese, extra hot dog, the big red button boosted him through the letterbox, much to the consternation of an incoming hauler pilot, who started his approach with 12 tons of bio-waste behind him and ended it with 14 tons. A strangled whimper was all that could be heard from the pilot as Hanky's behemoth impacted on the small yellow ship, sending it and its unfortunate pilot careening around the slot like a pinball before exploding, well, popping, against the wall. Now, station defences don't care if you're the grandest of all the grand poobahs, or if you're a pilot in a near unstoppable juggernaut death machine. They take a dim view of big ships smashing up little ships in the letterbox. You could say that station defences take a psychotically, violently dim view of it, in fact. And so was the case with Hanky. No amount of thermal-resistant, deep-plated armour could change the outcome once the big guns turned on him. Boom splat, and off he went to the detention facility to pay off his debt to society. Upon being released from his escape pod, he made the standard grovelling apology video that we all have to make, paid off his bounty, his fine, and insurance claims on both the ships. So, after hovering around in the social area playing Pac-Man for a while, his replacement ship finally arrived. The Exalted One then boarded his royal transport and prepared to resume his journey several million credits poorer than he had started the day. It was only when he set his course that he realised he was some 314 light years from home and didn't have a fuel scoop. Not to worry, surely such a well-stocked and well-maintained facility would have something in outfitting. Right? Well, they did. But as detention facilities don't like to make things easier for the criminal fraternity, they only stocked a 1E scoop. So his choice was to fit it and fly back very, very slowly, or to get a taxi home and have his Corvette delivered to civilization at great personal cost. We left him to it at that point and got an Apex.
I'm not sure that I can remember a week where more adverse states have afflicted random, normally quiet Hutton systems. We've had discontent, blight, drought, more discontent, more drought. What next? Space frogs, locusts? Still, things have settled down somewhat towards the end of the week, but more on those stories coming up. Barnard's Star is on 32% and, as usual, at the bottom of the Hutton systems table. An infrastructure failure affecting half of the system factions was cleared midweek, opening up the commodities markets. A civil war for second place is about to break out between the usual suspects, which will tie up a third of the influence, making it harder to move, but it doesn't look like we shouldn't try. Epsilon Eridani seems to be stuck around 38 after recovering from its recent outbreak, and Epsilon Indy hovers a point above it on 39. Avic has gone a third week without a war, and the 20-point gap to Sirius tells me that Lee Yong-ri has bigger things to worry about, like stronger hair gel for his ridiculous quiff. Bring it, LYR, if of course you think your quiff is hard enough. The blight in Alpha Centauri was cleared in the last couple of days. Thanks go to Commander Aidan, who had stopped his fleet carrier, Alvin's Mercy, with agronomic treatment and put it on station in the system. Two systems, Ross 671 and LP 245-10, have been affected by a drought, Without a water world in either system, parched citizens were forced to turn to their booze cabinets, which had been particularly hard hit. When contacted for a comment, a spokesman for Ross 671 giggled a lot. There was a crash of furniture as he fell off his chair, and then he was heard to fart and snore loudly. The drought in LP245-10 has been cleared, and citizens have asked that visiting commanders do so quietly, as they have a bit of a thick head. The drought and boozy partying in Ross 671 continues. Thanks also to those commanders who turned arms dealers and sold weapons to the System Authority in Luyton 145-141 to help root out the terrorist cells there. Reports from the system are somewhat garbled, but apparently the terrorists made a last stand in the Euclid Station Zoo, where security forces successfully managed to shoot the gorillas and rescue the ostriches. At the overachieving end of the Hutton systems table, we have just 4 systems above 60%. Remember, don't boost or jump dump data into systems that are above 60%. Operation Jump to a Dump concluded in LP715-52, where the Roughnecks very kindly handed us our arses, for which we thanked them and withdrew gracefully. Priorities this week are, if you want to chuck something, clear the drought in Ross 671 and boost Barnard Star. If you want to shoot something, blow the cobwebs off your scanners and go for gold.
We love bringing you news of Mutila's events, and we hope that you enjoy hearing tales of far-flung places and events closer to home. This week we've heard from the Nexus Initiative, Does the Sun Still Rise in the East? 5 Euro Tours, and the Aemilia Void Expedition. Links will as always be posted in Twitch chat and also in the description of the YouTube upload. Commander Caboose has reported that the Gary Hogan is in dry dock at the moment and won't be going anywhere until the Pilots Federation are ready to provide the ability to add space legs for the Xboxes. However, if anyone wants a break from the real galaxy and would like to play a video game, apparently the Legacy of Dawn will be hosting a welcome event in something called Star Citizen for anyone who wants to try and experience the free-to-play weekend with a crew. Commander the Presence is, and with an entirely peduncle-free report. It is, Does the Sun Still Rise in the East? Week 12.
Commander the Presence here again, and I'm nowhere near where I thought I'd be. In my hubris, I thought I'd be able to finagle my way directly across the Tenebrae sector to my next waypoint by staying as close to the level of the galactic plane as possible, and then use copious amounts of jumponium, manually plotting star by star. I managed to get across about 800 light years of the 6,500 needed when all the lights went out, leaving me about 100 jumps short of the next set destination. With my tail between my legs and the area in my cockpit as blue as a really blue thing, I reversed course and started looking at how to follow the Huntsman and Silver Taffer to waypoint 11, the DSSA carrier Deus Vult, and from there to waypoint 12, Magellan Star. It was time to break out the new toys, and I reached for the box that said incredibly helpful and useful interactive astrometrics map, courtesy of those lovely people at edastro.com. Using the heat map, I could instantly see the futility of my initial course. There was literally nothing there. Indeed, my next targets were on some kind of a horn on the eastern edge of the Milky Way, making my proposed route a nonsense and leaving me quite the detour down, round and back up again. I sincerely hope the other commanders, left trying to reach Deus Vult and Magellan Star, commanders Janagu, Walsander, Kahek Rus and Godtar, can avoid my fate, although 99% of the systems I am now travelling through are already discovered, so I'm certainly not the first person to get caught out this way. Until next week, 07.
We went to collect Commander Hunter's contribution to this week's show, but there was no sign of him. The doors were locked, the labourers were looking at us through net curtains, but we found this note pinned to his door.
By the time you hear this, the €5 tour's journey will be underway. Indeed, it started a few hours ago, but there's still room to join us on this amazing journey to the centre of the galaxy. Sign up at bit.ly/€5 tours return and get flying. Join our Discord if you're looking for a chat across multiple platforms.
Commanders Quietech 2001 and Noob Queen had great fun with all the members of the Chimera Void expedition, with a destination of Suppositus Beacon, thought to be the most distant reachable system from the centre of the galaxy. Here is the expedition report.
Gigantic metal beasts began roaring, and the frameshift drives spinning to life. A moment of significance began sinking in, marking the commencement of the journey into the deep void. In the bellies we were, of the FC Chimera, accompanied by FC Spirit of the North. Some commanders grew anxious as it was their first taste of the great emptiness, exploring the unknown of the farthest reaches of our galaxy. The final destination, Suppositus Beacon, awaited. During the traverse, some discovered another fascinating destination worth setting foot in: the bar. Commanders conversed and drank while the journey continued. Pristine systems and astronomical bodies were discovered. The beauty of the universe captured. Drinks poured for the Ratos, people, and Thargoids alike. Although he denies it, some speculate Commander Quietech, leader of the expedition, made some strikingly familiar noises. After days of jumps and an immeasurable amount of patience, we arrived. Leaving the safe confines of the bar, then jumping into our ships, numerous engines roared to life, eagerly launching into the profound silence of the void. Some were overwhelmed by the big black and the galaxy's silhouette, clear and bright in the distance. We were ecstatic, but the silence and emptiness were slowly taking its toll on us. We were zipping and flying around the fleet carriers we temporarily called home, then jumping in unison to destinations unknown. There was screaming and shouting, but all in a trance of excitement and jubilee. Then we finally returned to the two steel beasts we came to call home. Then went to sleep, lulled by more drinks with some strange berries someone found on the way. Before we knew it, we were heading back to civilization, feeling sorry to leave this remarkable yet empty space behind. Thus, the Chimera Void expedition slowly became history, recorded and saved, to inspire the next group of commanders to visit the Suppositus Beacon.
And as we bid farewell to the Chimera Void expedition, we've got a video of them final mass jump. Do you know of any others? Do you know how to use email? If the answer to both of these is yes, then email itookpart@huttonorbital.com and tell us what we've missed.
Before we move on with the rest of the show, as is sometimes our duty, we've a little extra news to report. Many people aren't aware, but as with the joke about the anaconda, Hutton is old. Very old. Hidden away in a dusty cupboard at the back of one of the levels that few people visit is the Hutton computer room. Wall to wall, it's lined with relics of bygone ages, flashing and beeping away and keeping everything in the station running at peak efficiency. Whether it's the speak and spell that powers the PA system, or the rather ancient green screen portable computer that manages payroll. By portable we mean with the aid of a forklift. Despite their great age, these computers are the buzzing hub of all things Hutton. Apart from the copy of Elite on a BBC Micro in one corner, that's there just for fun. Keeping this running is a team of techno-necromancers, archaeologists and wild-eyed soldering iron-wielding superheroes, making the occasional journey out to Hutton Orbital maybe only once a month with some fresh capacitors or a replacement memory bank. Regularly amongst these was Commander Vernon, an archaeological expert in all things retro, armed with the kind of knowledge that is in the same league as understanding Egyptian hieroglyphics or ancient Sumerian. He had a way with this technology, able to coax it into lasting just one more month or one more week. It helped that he made his visit in full dynamic archaeological regalia, wide-brimmed hat, bull-hide whip and a winning smile. Unfortunately, for those who knew him, Commander Vernon was struck down with the kind of systems failure that couldn't be solved with a dab of solder or a few new capacitors. This didn't deter him, though. He simply built himself newer and more interesting ways with which to interact with the galaxy, make his journeys out on fleet carriers, and stand on far planets. When not performing his technical wizardry or being chased by giant boulders and leaping over spike-filled pits, he spent the last 6 months in the company of fellow commanders, experiencing everything the galaxy had to offer, whether the Guardian ruins, Thargoid structures, or just fascinating planets throughout the Milky Way. So it was with a heavy heart, but with no small amount of wonder at his fortitude and good humour in keeping going throughout all his tribulations, that we finally received the news that he'd made his last journey and slipped peacefully to sleep earlier this week. His partner Tracy sent us the news, and as always here at Hutton, we sent back our love, thoughts and of course condolences on hearing of his passing. Since publishing the news, forum channels have been clogged with messages of sympathy, stories of his adventures and fond memories from friends far and wide. His technical legacy will live on. We will help his partner ensure that. For the time being, though, he is, and will be, remembered. Rest in peace, Commander Vernon, and we send you on your way with what we feel is a quite appropriate 21-gun salute. Goodbye, Commander Vernon. Anyway. Yes.
Bye, Commander Vernon.
Yeah. All right, everybody. And we're back. Thank you. Sorry again about the having the sad news there, but that's always the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, have I pressed it? Hang on. That's better. I pressed the wrong button. Right.
Oh,
We hadn't noticed.
where are you talking to yourself?
No. I just never mind. There are so many
Well,
buttons,
that
so
makes a
little
nice
time.
change, yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was a nice lot of farewell.
So that
there.
jump clip was seamless.
Yes, all right. So I blame the idiot who edited it this afternoon. Oh, that was me.
Yeah.
Could only afford
Yeah.
royalties.
Funny
on
enough-
half the music.
No,
We all blame that idiot. We all blame the same idiot as you.
No, actually, that the music is one that I've paid for, so I could use it. But unfortunately, it looked like the editing was bollocksed up, and the music ended far. It was all lined up when I had it. Never mind.
Do you know what we could have done with right about now? We could have done with an oath to blame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's oaf?
Oh, just an oath. But you know,
An oaf.
Seamless.
Yes.
seamless.
Seamless.
You sounded a bit robotic that first time.
That was
That
the
was-
recording.
That was like Dalek.
I'm so gonna get one of those voice changer things that you all keep going on about.
Yeah,
Voice mod.
it was
Sure,
like
one of
kind of.
those.
It was kind of slightly Cyberman seamless.
I could pull off Dalek.
So, what you do in your spare time is your business.
I wondered what that plunger was for.
And the egg whisk.
I thought that was an eye on a stick. I didn't know.
Handy in the kitchen.
Yes.
Don't be handy in the kitchen.
It's the two mini indicator lights on her hat that's bothering me.
Yeah.
Well, to help planes land.
So who saw the live stream this week?
Nobody.
I did.
There wasn't one.
Nobody saw the live stream this week.
Time
I get in before
travellers.
5 o'clock as well. I'm putting on. I'm getting purple things this time. No.
Yes.
No.
So we didn't have a live stream.
No, they're
did
doing-
not
they're-
have a
Every
live
2
stream.
That-
weeks you
Weekly.
weren't listening last
Except
week.
it won't be next Thursday because it's a bank holiday. So
It's a
I'm not
bank
sure
holiday
when next one
Thursday.
is.
Yeah, it's a bank
Yeah.
holiday Thursday next week. Yeah.
And there I was staring at the screen,
Yeah. Forlornly.
thinking I'd messed up the time.
Yeah.
You did. You were a week out. Well, probably 3 weeks out, probably.
Yeah. Very possibly.
I did
Yeah.
that 2 weeks ago when they had it on a Wednesday. Anyway,
Yeah. Just that's really just to throw you off. It's to catch it the unwary.
You one of Flossy's articles there, the commander, the presence, Tenebrae. Oh God, I know exactly what he's going through because I did exactly the same thing about 2 years ago.
You didn't bother to tell him, did you? Oh, no.
Well, I've got a map, and the information's out there. Like you said, you can go and look at ED Astro. But when you get there, you think, oh yeah, I'll just talk about 40,000 light years and straight on till morning, until you get to the edge, and your route plotter's not working. You
think I've-
give it a percussive tap, And anyway, you've got to go all the way around, which took me at least a month to get round this.
I don't
this
think I've heard of that. Where is Tenebrae?
Tenebrae. It's on the right hand side,
Right.
4
always-
o'clock in the galaxy.
I always envisioned Commander the Presence as being a very chipper chap,
It's a
because-
chap.
or gal, chipper gal.
Well, that's right.
I don't know from the name, but very excited constantly because I remember reading the Presence articles, and I always like, yes, chipper, and it always reads so happy and
Yeah.
Chipper, stiff upper.
ecstatic about everything.
Yeah. I fell down a big hole,
sure
but it's
he is.
okay because I
But-
found a
but-
penny.
This way,
His self-esteem's had a bit of a kick in this week.
yes,
I think, with,
the-
encountering Tenebrae.
the icon, the avatar that the Presence uses on Discord is actually the head of Terry Thomas.
Oh, excellent.
Hello.
Absolute Shah.
Shah. You
Terry
complete
Thomas.
Shah.
He acted in. He almost played a cad in like alien films for the 1950s and things. He usually
That'll be why I don't know Terry Thomas.
You might kind of he had like a moustache, and he always had kind
And a
of like a
cigarette
gap
holder.
between his two front teeth.
Oh, you could park a bicycle in that.
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay.
yeah.
Well worth watching several of the movies in that. School for Scoundrels.
He always played not a bad guy, but he always played a bit of a cad and a bounder.
Yeah, a bit of a bit of
The
a-
sort that would just borrow some money off you till payday and then forget. The sort of
sorry, I forgot my wallet.
the sort of lying toe rag that could make Prime Minister one day, that kind of thing.
Someone of ill repute.
Yes.
Yeah, but he would
There
do
was
you
him,
well
and then,
with it,
of
make
course,
you
there
feel very
was-
nice about it.
There was him, of course, and then there was Leslie Phillips as well.
Oh, mate.
Leslie
Oh,
Phillips
yes.
played similar kinds of characters, but just in a slightly different way.
I'm trying to remember which one of them modelled his catchphrase on the other, and I can't remember which way round.
Oh, I
it was.
don't know. Because it was Leslie Phillips that always said, hello.
Yeah.
Oh, I say, ding dong.
That sort of syrupy. Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
So, sort of slightly syrupy,
Pingweed.
upper class, sleazy.
And welcome to an
Yes.
episode of All Our Yesterdays.
Next on Radio 3.
Hello.
So anyway, if you ever go out that way towards Magellan Star, to approach it from the north, if you like, from the top of the galaxy, it's quite tricky. It's a bit like trying to get from Skegness to Cromer when the tide's out without getting your feet wet. It's like, I know it's there somewhere, but I've got to go all the way to King's Lynn.
Well, that's
Anyway.
not very limited. Yeah, mass appeal, that one there. Chicks.
So if you're walking, it's a long way. It's right across the wash.
Yeah.
Somebody shut that window. It's cold in here.
That-
It's
so-
cold outside.
Well, actually, no, we don't want you to show. We want you to talk because going for gold
Oh,
3,
yes.
it's you should
Well, we've covered
wax lyrically.
We've covered it, haven't we? We've talked about it. So get out there, get exploring, submit your data. There'll be a few pieces coming up one later on, next few weeks about how to do it in a more certain way of raking in megabucks.
Venal exploration, you mean?
Where to go and why to go there. And it's not obviously the whole point of boosting your exploration data is to go somewhere nobody's been before. And if you look at Commander Presence's new reference, the ED Astra, it looks like everybody's been everywhere. But they haven't, because obviously the galaxy is 3-dimensional, not just 2, unlike the show, of course.
We're hoping
you
for
can
2
go-
dimensions one day.
Multi-dimensional. So you go above, below, but try and stay off the beaten track. And whilst you'll tend to find the same kind of stuff, nobody will have been there before, so you rake in all those bonuses. So it's got 8 weeks to run. I was just looking earlier on the show, and Commander Takamoto there's only three commanders submitted exploration data, but it is only day 1. And he's in the lead, or they are in the lead, with 5 million credits. So that's 2.5 million points. Why did he do that? I don't know. Anyway, they've done it to us, so we'll just have to put up with it, I suppose.
Did you see in the chat earlier that Sal Gorf dumped enough data to get 400 arcs in one evening? Unfortunately, he wasn't a commander registered with a Hutton helper, and don't you feel stupid now, Gorf? Yes.
Yes. Was it a commander not registered with a
Yeah.
helper?
Yeah.
Oh, well. Oh, dear.
An alternate. It's always worth doing Hutton helper for all of your...
Well, it's not just
pilots.
the Hutton helper. You've got to be in the Hut squadron as well. So all of you people out there who are using the Hutton helper but not in the Hutton squadron, you need to have a look at your life. Have a harsh word with yourself in the mirror.
Say your life, such as it is over. Join the Hutton squadron.
Well, at least for the next 8 weeks it is. So it'll be fun. And we can. And then Tarius, he when I asked him to set this up, he said, "Oh, I'm going to do something really cool." And I didn't find out last night what he'd done until. Anyway, he set it up as a series of clubs. It looks a little bit like a Kickstarter, where you have different Kickstarter levels, but this is more like Carto data levels. So the Galaxy, the Just Show. Do you want to be in the Just Showing Off club? Over 50 billion credits. Nobody wants to be in that club.
No, that's because you're in it.
Well, no, not this time around.
Found a member. Yeah.
Just like first rule of Just Showing Off club is anyway. Right.
Yes.
So
First rule is to let everybody know that you're in Just Showing Off Club. I'm in Just Showing Off Club. Are you in Just Showing Off Club?
The first rule of attention-seeking club is
Me. I want to tell them.
Hi. Don't want you to interrupt, but hi.
Got a bit of what should be good news coming up here. Obviously, our fluffy leader, Alvin, has been with Snoz now just over 7 years. About 12 days ago, that was the 7th year anniversary. But something hearing dog related, those of you who've been with us a while remember that a couple of years ago we actually named a puppy. We had a competition to name it, and then we said, sod it, we'll just name him anyway. And the puppy was called Hutton. A lovely little puppy. Unfortunately, he did not live to reach adulthood and died 2 years ago this month. But there is a process starting to obtain another dog which could be named. People from Hearing Dogs were speaking to Snoz today and confirmed that. So I don't think we can have Doggy McDogface or anything like that. So we'll find out the details of stuff through Snoz as it goes on. But fingers crossed, we might actually have our own another, hopefully more lucky.
I think
puppy.
It's awful when a wee puppy, young dog like that dies. It's terrible. But I think the letters go by letters of the alphabet as well.
Yeah.
So all the dogs from a litter, their names will start with the same letter. So it might help if we find out what letter we're on it, what letter it is for the letter we're naming, and that'll give us a starter for 10.
Well, I think it's still early days now. I think it's the process has just been started.
No, there's a discussion.
Yeah, I think they'll try and make sure that you don't want a name like Bastard, so you don't want to.
Well, you might not.
Bastard McBastard face.
Instead of shouting Fenton across it.
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say I know at least one dog that used to answer to the name Bastard, but he was a bit of a bastard, so you know. It wasn't his name. We just knew that we meant him when we shouted it.
Have we got anything or something? We have got green rooms, so don't forget everybody for listening. We've got green rooms, so we've got. If you don't want to go and sit in the green room yet, don't worry. We'll give you a little bit of notice, but it's worth getting ready. Make sure you've got TeamSpeak installed. Make sure it's all working, and make sure that you're pointing to. What is it we point to, Flossy? Where do we get them to go?
The sky.
folderol.com, and it's not a website. It's a server.
It's a server. It's a TeamSpeak server, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
And if you haven't got TeamSpeak 3 installed yet, you've just got time to download and work out what's going on, and then you better join and find. You can't talk to us because you don't know how to turn the microphone on.
TS4themug.com. TS for TeamSpeak.
Yep. Yeah.
ts.forthemug.com.
Yes.
There were silent dots there.
And if you're not sure about that, that's ts.forthemug.com.
And what if you're listening in black and white?
ts.forthemug.com.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Just in
what
case
was
they
that?
didn't understand my accent. Chicks, could you have a go? Because they might not understand my accent.
Have I got what?
Sorry,
I didn't understand what you were talking about.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Can you do the ts.forthemug.com thing?
ts.forthemug.com.
Okay.
One more time.
ts.forthemug.com.
All right, I missed the dot out.
Okay. It's nearly time for Flossy to bring us up to speed with what's been happening in the community goals. But we've just got time before that for a picture spin quiz, and I want you to shout out as soon as you know what it is.
I feel
it's a discombobulated giraffe. It's Michael
Douglas.
Michael Knight's car.
Is it Michael? Oh, it's not Cat, is it?
It's a
Oh, it's an
fried egg.
aardvark.
It's an
It's an
alien.
aardvark.
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 Aardvark. Aardvark.
think that's it.
Yes, it's our friend the aardvark from the end of the show,
Aardvark!
which will be familiar to any viewers who stick with us to the bitter end each week. Talking of friends that are always with us, we're finally going to hand over to Flossy with the CG news.
When
Aardvarks!
the universe is in trouble, bug infestations in the bubble, your home station's burned rubble. What on earth can we do now? Interstellar initiatives. Let Flossy tell you what it is. Then you can get involved with this. You should listen to what Flossy says. Interstellar initiatives. Flossy tells us what she thinks it is. Then you can get involved with this. Now you should listen to what Flossy says.
Yes. Hello, Flossy here with this week's CG news. Last week's CG, Fight the Kumo Crew. This finished at 0600 UTC this morning at Tier 2 with a total of over 49.5 billion credits earned. The paint job rewards for participating contributors are Top 75% Viper Mark III Pirate Faction Orange. Top 50% Vulture Pirate Faction Purple. Top 25% Fer-de-Lance Pirate Faction Red. These rewards are cumulative, and higher contributor bands will receive the paint jobs from lower bands. There are no new CGs this week, but commanders may have received a message in their in-game inbox. Commander, this is Professor Albert Tesro. As you know, Aegis has been shut down. I have kept the records of those commanders who supported Aegis's work in the past. Hope you don't mind. Earlier today, I received a curious message. All it said was -3.125 /25.53125 /2.6875. Who is Salvation? Such cryptic messages aren't rare. You'd be surprised how many people think they have a tip-off on some grand secret or another. But this one included a data tag unique to the Oaken Point facility that Azimuth formerly operated. The coordinates map to the DG Canem Venatcorum system. I'm going to fly there now, but I'd like you to take a look yourself if you can. If there's something to be found, we can draw immediate attention with enough witnesses. Salvation may have won the superpower's trust, but perhaps we can prove that trust is misplaced. And that's it for this week's CG News.
Flossy told you what to do.
Thank you, Flossy. Now it's time for the cannon and ball of Galnet news. Well, one of them knows all cannon and the other one has a ball. It's Beetlejuice and Witherspoon to tell us all who's plotting what. Rock on, Tommy! You had me skinned then!
Galnet News Digest, 26th of May 3308. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, Professor Albert Tesro unveils a lead that may help to unmask Salvation. The crew of the Golconda face a dilemma, and Arkon Delane vows to find a dredger that's parked right outside his front door.
Professor Albert Tesro, the former head of research at Aegis, has shared a tip-off that may unmask the identity of Salvation. The message is brief, giving coordinates and the 3 words, "Who is Salvation?" Tesro says she believes the message to be a genuine tip-off because it gives a data tag from Azimuth Biochemicals facility Oaken Point. Tesreau has already researched the message and says that the coordinates are those of the DG Carnum Venaticorum system. A settlement on Moon A of planet A4 may hold the information Tesreau has been directed to. It is unclear who the informer is or why they want to help Professor Tesreau and Aegis. The Artificers clan is repairing the Golconda, and in the process is creating a dilemma for those who once travelled on it. The Golconda megaship was discovered in distress 3.5 years ago in the Upaniclis system. Its 1,000-year sublight-speed voyage from the Sol system was part of an early initiative to colonise the galaxy, from an era before faster-than-light travel. The passengers and crew of the Golconda were delighted to be rescued in November 3305, after the Golconda developed a number of technical failures and a mysterious virus swept through its inhabitants. They were granted an outpost and an agricultural facility by the Federation, and they currently live a secluded life, making unique distilled beverage that helps fund their lifestyle. But now, with the arrival of the Artificer clan, that may all change. Jonathan Forrester, one-time captain of the Golconda, described the dilemma facing his people.
When the Dredger clan first arrived in the Upaniclis system, we feared they had come to salvage the Golconda. Instead, to our surprise, they've initiated engineering work on it, reinforcing the ship's structural integrity, repairing damaged components, and installing modern engines and navigational systems. Yet, the decks where our community previously lived remain untouched. The Artificers didn't request permission to do this, which upset many of us, but today we received a message expressing a strange, childlike excitement at finding what they called a dead hulk, and their determination to revive it for us. With their incredible skills, it's possible that the Golconda could become spaceworthy again, within weeks. This has prompted a huge debate among my people. Should we return to our old home? Some have grown accustomed to the benefits of leaving it as outpost. Others believe we should resume journeying between the stars, as our ancestors did for centuries. Many are looking to me for leadership, and I must admit to finding such a decision hard. I thought that the Golconda was our history, but perhaps it still holds our future.
Arch-Corsair Vidar Trask is dead, following a furiously fought last stand in the HIP 10792 system, and Archon Delane has vowed to hunt down the Blue Viper Club Dredger and slaughter everyone on board after it was revealed that the clan formed the majority of Trask's band of mercenaries. Trask was, until 2 weeks ago, Pirate King Archon Delane's most trusted aide and advisor, but it turns out he'd been secretly plotting with Kay Volantine of the Dredger clan to overthrow Delane and take over the Kumo Council for himself. Volantine and Trask together amassed a fortune in gambling proceeds, with which they bought the loyalty of criminals both within and from outside the pirate clans, including Volantine's Blue Viper Club crew. Trask was killed in combat, and the remaining ships of the Trask Death Corsairs have scattered. Kay Volantine escaped from Kumo City back to the Dredger and announced that the Dredger would jump to a secret location hundreds of light years away. Archon Delane has proclaimed that the Dredger, which he described as a rusting hulk, will find no refuge from his wrath anywhere in the galaxy, no matter how hard it tries to hide. If the Kumo Council wants to hunt down and destroy the Dredger, and kill every man, woman and child aboard it, the good news is that it hasn't gone anywhere. It remains where it has been since July last year, in Pegasi Sector PN-T C3-14, a very short 27.6 megameters from Kumo City.
And that's this week's Galnet News. Galnet News, we read the news so you don't have to.
Thank you, Commanders Beetlejude and Witherspoon. Which one do you think wears the big red stockbroker braces. Now, as mentioned earlier, here is Commander Chicks to offer up some useful exploration tips and tricks from the last time we went for gold.
Good evening, truckers, and welcome to the first in a series of Exploration Tips and Tricks with Commander Chicks. In a couple of days, I'm going to be back in the bubble after spending 2.5 years out in the black. And since Alvin has noticed that the Hutton Squadron trophy cabinet is a bit light on, well, trophies, and has decided that we are going for gold part deux, I thought I'd share a few bits and pieces of hard-won advice on how to make credits from exploration. This week, I'd like to talk about exploration ships and where to go in them. Before you groan at the prospect of 10 minutes of frameshift drive specifications, how to shave off 2 tons of fuel mass and add half a light year to your jump range, rest easy. I'm going to leave that to the multitude of YouTube videos, guides and excellent third-party tools already out there. Firstly, let's dispel the myth that you need a super lightweight, paper-thin, fully engineered, Guardian-enhanced Explorer Conda. You don't. If you have one, that's great, but with a few exceptions you can happily gather exploration data with pretty much any ship in the game. If I had to pick a top 3 in increase in price range, the first 2 are easy, as the clue is in the name. The Diamondback Explorer, then the Asp Explorer. Thirdly, and for me at least, it would have to be the Anaconda. Whichever ship you fly, and whatever its jump range, remember that neither of those things matter not one jot to how much you will earn from exploration. That, my brother truckers, depends on where you go and what you scan. Which commander type are you? There are 2 types of explorers in the galaxy. There are the jump, honk, scan, repeat merchants that rack up tens of thousands of light years every week, rushing about the galaxy, honking everything and mapping little. And then there are those commanders that glide serenely along, economically jumping to the next closest system, doing proper exploring, hoovering up credits like autumn leaves. This goes back to my point about exploration ships. Unless you are going into the sparse regions at the edges of the galaxy, you really don't need a huge jump range. Okay, I fly a 73 plus light year engineered, stripped down Anaconda, but before you all cry hypocrite, my average jump distance is only 37 light years, only half my jump range, and that's across 25,000 jumps. Whichever ship you choose, make sure you fit a decent frameshift drive, let's say more than 35 light years jump range is preferable, a Discovery surface scanner and a large fuel scoop. Recommended optional extras are a surface reconnaissance vehicle and a small shield for bumpy landings, but ditch the weapons. So where should we go, you ask? Exploration commanders should ignore the advice of the surly landlord of the slaughtered lamb in An American Werewolf in London, and most definitely stay off the road. Do you find that you choose a destination, say Sagittarius A-star, Colonia or a nebula, head for it, then find every system has been discovered previously? That's because every Tom, Dick and Commander Harriet has previously had the same thought. Third-party tools such as ED Astro will show you a heat map of regions that have been visited previously. Choose lesser travelled routes off the beaten path and stay well above or below the galactic plane by 100 light years or more, and you'll notice how many systems are still undiscovered, even close to the bubble. Only last week I found 8 undiscovered Earth-like worlds in 5 days, only 5,000 light years from the bubble, but 100 light years below the galactic plane. The point is that you don't need to go to the edge of the galaxy to make exploration credits. There are thousands of undiscovered systems just outside the bubble. Only 0.05% of the systems in the galaxy have been visited. By all means, make some long jumps to get away from pirates and into virgin territory, but you don't need to go that far out of the bubble to make lots of exploration credits. Next time, I'm going to talk about which system types and planets are best to scan and how to triple your exploration credits. So join me, Commander Chicks, next week at the same time, same place, Hutton Radio.
Thank you, Commander Chicks. Lots to absorb there. A few myths dispelled, and tune in next week for more. Now it's time for Glasgow's finest to tell us who overachieved in what. It's Mia Harkness with the Hutton Helper results.
Welcome to the Hutton Helper results. The Hutton Helper results are sponsored by the Hutton Helper, the only third-party resource to come with free pixels for your face, so no one knows it was you pictured next to the oaf. This week we have the following events: the "If they can't catch me, they can't find me" shield, the "Bringing the booze in for work Cup Winners' Cup, the "Your mission will fail if the holovid is published" challenge, the "Everyone else got a bounty except me" trophy, the "Shot yourself in the foot repeatedly" deja vu trophy, and the "Sharing a taxi home at the end of the not party" extravaganza. So put on your best work event frock, get the bubbly on ice, and don't tell the media. This week's Hutton Helper results are: Mark Xanthius jumped 38,000 light years to come first in distance travelled. Coma Skid, or is it Coma Skid, Mark? Sold 74,000 tonnes of stuff. Top mission runner is Montgomery Python again with 1,125 mission points. It's all changed with bounties handed in. Johnny S won this week by handing in 123 million's worth of the little buggers. Veleran handed in 207 million credits of combat bonds, and M. Grey delivered 271 people to their various destinations. Quite weak in the taxis this week, so that's a decal for Coma Skid. Email itookpart@huttonorbital.com and arrange to collect your Hutton decal kit, which this week consists of a big red box full of champers, a work event popper, work event hats, and a packet of work event balloons. There were 5 Hutton runs this week. They must have heard about the sale at Budget Clones for You, or the free flight suit fumigation at Wonders. So, Gabe Derasp got there in a leisurely 1 hour, 52 minutes, 17 seconds for an equally laconic 575th place. Here we go again. Zen Zob Krell made the run in 1 hour, 24 minutes and 23 seconds for 176th place overall. Retired Navy IT1 was back at Hutton as soon as the advert aired for Wonders and only took 1 hour, 24 minutes and 17 seconds to get there for 165th place. Taryn Capel took 1 hour, 23 minutes, 50 seconds for 78th place, and Chucklefuck arrived in 1 hour, 23 minutes, 46 seconds for a very respectable 62nd place. Much more respectable than the Commander himself. There's a whole galaxy of stuff out there needing shipped, short, rescued, looted, repaired, destroyed, bought, sold, squeezed, inflated, burnt, frozen, liquidated, evaporated, sandblasted, sponged down, and smelled. Also, you can get yourself a very fetching Hutton decal for doing it. I bet you're wondering how you can be a part of it. Well, here's an idea for you. Why not go to hot.forthemug.com and download or sign up for the delicious new Hutton Helper, available in 3 delicious flavours. Let's face it, anything has to be better than posing for a photo at a highly illegal, mildly illegal, work event, then denying you were there. Anyway, that's it for this week. Back to Studio 5.
Thank you, Mia. Lots to think about there. But something I definitely don't want to think about is where Aemilia went for this week's Galnet Rares Digest.
Good evening. This is Aemilia Hawke reporting for the Galnet Rares Digest. We try all the galaxy's rarest and most dangerous commodities, so you don't have to. We all know about eggs, right? Humans eat eggs all the time. Bird eggs, fish eggs, chocolate eggs, Apiornis eggs, and this one time, a Fabergé egg. I'm banned from that museum now. But it was worth it. Anyway, I shouldn't say too much until the court case is resolved, so let's push on. I'm in Seance this week to find out more about the mysterious leathery eggs they sell here. For years, they were thought to be genuine fossilized eggs from a long-extinct local species, which had been recovered and sold in very limited numbers to the most discerning of collectors. It was only as recently as that the eggs were found to be the work of a highly skilled prop maker who operates from a hidden workshop down in the aptly named planet Industry. It's technically a warm Earth-like world with oxygen-rich air and temperatures at around 30 degrees Celsius. But with air pressure at 7.25 atmospheres, you wouldn't want to be outside without a pressure suit. This weather's always the same here, bright starshine and cloudless blue skies. There aren't really trees, but lots of grasses, creeper plants and shrubs. The animals have long since adapted to the local air pressure, and they poodle about the place quite happily. There are lots of flying or gliding species here too, but they look stockier than the earth bird and have shorter, stubbier wings. We have a very pleasant onward journey to the workshop area. The planet itself is very beautiful. But I have no idea where I am. I couldn't see from the shuttle, and down here it's all shrubberies and those blue skies. The workshop itself is underground. That's as much as I'm allowed to say about its location. Finally, I can get changed out of this pressure suit, and when I remove my helmet, the air is cool and sweet. We're in a large cavern with light panels set into the walls. I can see several workstations, all containing leathery eggs at different stages of production. Work is finished for the day, so the room is quiet. In the middle of the room is an egg on a pedestal in a tall glass case. This must be the original that the others are based on. The egg itself is a sort of squat ovoid. It has a leathery exterior, as you'd expect. There are 4 petals, if that's the right word, at the top, as though it would open like a Terry's chocolate orange, but with only 4 slices. And there are translucent areas where light shines through. The whole thing seems to be covered in a layer of clear slime. It looks as though it's being secreted, but secreted from what? It's probably an air pump with a reservoir, yeah. That'll be it. I'm joined at the glass by a tall, balding man who introduces himself as Lancelot Knight. Whoever named him must have been drunk at the time.
Magnificent, isn't it?
He says, and I have to agree, although it has a degree of grotesque about it. The egg is also very compelling as an object. Lance looks around and then whispers.
We don't normally allow this, but if you like, you can have a closer look. The texture on the original is beautifully detailed, and the individual pores are visible if you look closely.
Wow, I'll never get a chance like this again. Knight moves over to the panel, presses a couple of buttons, and releases the door on the case. It takes a moment for the pressure to equalize, but then I'm in. It's exquisite. These people are real artists. The changes in the color and the proportions, and it's so realistic. Knight stands outside of the case opposite me and shined a light through the egg from the other side. My God, they've even modelled the inside of the thing. I can see the silhouette of what looks like an amniotic sac and... Oh, wait, did something just move in there? Oh, it must be light activated, some sort of, sensor, a motor to move the armature? How could they know? Right. This is one of those joke things where they scare the crap out of the newbie. Oh, the petals are opening now. Knight is staring really intently at me, hoping I'm going to start screaming and shouting to be let out. Yeah, dream on, pal. I haven't survived 82 of the galaxy's most dangerous rare goods by panicking whenever an animatronic tentacle slithers towards me. Ooh, wonder what's inside, I say loudly before sticking my face over the egg to get a good look inside. I mean, it looks so real. The smell, oh my God, it's almost unbearable. I mean, they've thought of everything. Hell's teeth! What was that? Something just shot up at my face. Crap, it's out of the egg now. It looks like it's one of those Japanese spider crabs, all knuckles and skittering. Oh no, I have made a big mistake. Here it comes again. Jesus, it's fast. It's knocked the egg over and the plinth is wobbling too. Knight is at the control panel and he's turning up the pressure inside here, and the effects... Oh, wow, the effects are immediate. My eyes feel like someone is pushing them into my head and my ears. They feel like they're about to explode. I'm struggling to draw breath. I know I don't have too long. Knight. You son of a bitch, I gasp. I hear his voice over the comm system explaining that Mr. Scott requires an adult specimen to round off his collection, and that this is the best way to procure one.
It's nothing personal. I really rather like you, but Mr. Scott must have his specimen. Would it help if I played some soothing music for you?
Nothing personal? Well, it feels pretty bloody personal for where I'm standing, you bastard. The horror from the egg is eyeing me up for another strike, curling its long tail ready to push off against the glass. Oh, hang on. I might just live through today. As it springs towards me, its tail uncoils behind it. I manage to step to the side of its thrashing legs and topple the plinth over onto the extended tail. Got it! I upend the egg and drop it over the top of the struggling... whatever it is. Back in the box, you! It's because of dickheads like Knight that I never leave Hutton without an ice pick nowadays. Such a versatile tool. I have to use it quickly, though, before I pass out. Knight sees the trapped creature and rushes over. I give him my best smile and swing the pick at the glass right in front of his face. The glass cracks, but doesn't break.
A valiant attempt, Miss Hawke, but it appears your efforts are in vain.
I'm gritting my teeth against the migraine from hell, and I'm sure one of my eardrums is gone. The pain is excruciating, but I manage to weed out the words. Pressure. Difference. I see the penny drop just before the glass explodes and shards spray onto his face and eyes at high speed. Knight staggers off across the workshop, clutching at his ruined face and screaming. I knock what's left of the glass over and step forward to freedom. My balance is off and the pain from my ear makes me want to throw up. But I have to get out of here. As I stagger my way to my pressure suit and the exit, I hear the sound of lots of legs scrabbling on the stone floor. I turn to see the crab thing about 3 meters behind me. It takes one look at me and my ice pick in hand, and blood running from my ear, and hesitates. It backs up, and then turns to the crashing, screaming Knight across the workshop before scuttling off in pursuit. Looks like Mr. Scott might get his specimen after all. I'm Aemilia Hawke, and I stared down a facehugger today, so you don't have to.
Reminds me of something, but I can't put my finger on it. I'm sure...
Oh, did you bring us one back?
No, sorry. No, there was just that one, and I had to get out of there real quick.
You haven't had any problems at mealtimes subsequently? No?
Not yet. Although I had a little bit of a coughing fit earlier, when I was eating a sandwich.
Yeah.
If you hold it in front of your stomach and he eats the sandwich, then you know you're in trouble.
Yes.
I'm actually going to have to listen back on that one, because that was...
You've no idea what you said.
I have no idea what I said, and my hands were gesturing wildly, so...
Excellent, yes.
It's excellent,
I was
yes.
very
yes.
drunk.
Very, very drunk.
Very, very drunk. Yes.
Lovely. Oh, well,
Sorry,
I'm glad to see you managed to get away from that. Yeah, you were saying there, Mr. Chick, sir?
I was saying, speaking of which, it's time to open some wine.
Wine.
Or is it?
So that.
Or is it whiskey time?
Oh.
Charles.
Just a small glass this evening, then.
Okay, it's standing by for the green room. So, okay, anybody who isn't in the green room yet, who wants to be, now's the time to do it. We are going to move down, and we all get ready to run. I'm going to move everybody who's in the... I'll put everybody in the same green room. Then I'll take the feed out of the way, and then we'll come and join you. And we've got about half a minute when I press this button, and we have the sound of running feet. Everybody ready? And here we go.
Ready!
User in your channel is reporting. User in your channel is reporting. User in your channel is reporting.
Can someone please oil that door?
Welcome to the green room. And welcome.
Hello.
I think I've got everybody in here.
Oh.
Who's?
Echo.
Hello.
Hello.
God, what's that funny smell in here? Smells like...
Not me.
That was
wasn't me.
That was
Oh,
me.
it's us.
That was me. I had the beans earlier. Never have the beans.
No, we've definitely got
Yeah, it's an echo,
feedback.
A little bit of resonance.
Let me just try. How's that?
Yay.
It's
Yay.
no.
Okay.
Is it
Nope.
still that? It's a little bit. But Palcon, I think. Do you have? I'm just going to put you back in. Palcon, have you got speakers rather than headphones? No. Yeah. Yes, because we're hearing feedback. So could you put yourself on push to talk?
Where do I find that?
We're hearing you. Hearing
Tools, options.
Troubleshooting for the win.
And then under capture, go under the fourth one down, capture, there's a voice activity detection there, or you push to talk.
There we go. That's better. Well, it was.
Still got an echo.
No, it's not.
No, because Balcon keeps coming in and out. Oh, he's turned himself up. That'll do.
Yeah. Still a bit.
Yeah.
Still a bit. I don't know from whom.
It's a slight echo still, isn't it?
Well, it's good enough to carry on, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not too... I figured out what the crackle was as well.
It was
Did
you,
you-
wasn't it?
Did you
it's a
Rice
very
Krispies next to you?
No, it's a very subtle headphone setting which you barely notice.
Well, you turn on crackle.
So it was you.
Yeah, it's
No, it has
crackle,
a
crackle
chat mode
filter.
and a game mode, and it used to be in game mode.
Okay, let's have a go. So let's have a look. What order are we going to go in? Let's have a look. We'll do it in the order we're
We've got to
there.
go with the guests first.
Yes, but we'll go with the yes. But
Yeah, just do it the order we're sitting in.
yeah, chicks, floss.
Yeah, but
Yes, but
we're
yeah,
going to
but
skip ourselves.
yes,
and
give
just
us.
speak
We'll
our
talk
guests,
to ourselves at the end. We'll talk to because then they can all bugger off when we've spoken to them.
Should they want to?
Yes. So Aemilia, Mia, Chicks, Flossy, then me, talking to the guests, and then talk to each other's afterwards.
Mr. Vulcarius, how the devil are you, sir?
Oh, good evening, Hutton Orbital. I'd say my voice module has taken some integrity damage, but I'm quite well.
And what have you been up to?
Well, I needed a space plumber for my combat ship earlier, but at least that's
A space plumber.
Yeah.
I think
It had
a space drummer.
Yeah, it had a burst laser.
A burst laser. Do tell. This sounds like a story.
No, that was it. That was the punchline was the story.
Like he had a bean laser.
Right. Yeah,
Oh, no,
yeah.
it
I
wasn't
got
a
that,
bean.
but
It wasn't
you
a
know,
bean,
I was
it was a
hoping
pulse.
I was hoping for a bit more, really.
Well,
I'm sorry, I shouldn't
Chicks is
expect
going to
so
steal
much.
that for his own now, isn't he?
Well, there was a bit more. I needed a space secret agent. Very strange fellow. Always greeted me twice. He gave me a 007.
I saw that coming.
Yeah, that one was kind of easy. More so.
Why do we do this?
One comedian.
If only I had one to fill the space.
And if you see one, let us know.
Not as much as in the pilot seat this time. Although I did at least remember that I could stow away on the Chimera Void expedition, which I did.
Oh, nice. How was it?
Well, I didn't really interact. If I didn't actually announce myself at all, that was kind of bad actually. But I figured that would just be just over a week, which isn't about right for me, especially when I'm not the one who has to command the fleet carrier every 20 minutes. But I now have a picture at the edge of the galaxy in a 30 light-year hauler, which has no business being there. Something like 70, 80 light-years to the nearest star.
Nice. Have you posted it on the Facebook page?
No. I should. Well, I can send it to you to Commander Palantir if you want.
Yeah. Mr. Harry Balzac, are you ready to receive files?
Oh, I'm always ready. Oh, yeah.
Always ready to receive.
Mm-hmm.
Although I'm always amazed at the commanders who fly out on the very long expeditions, though. So I'd like to say well done to everyone announced by Commander Flossy during those community events.
She does good, our Flossy.
Yeah. I've been quite busy with the finishing touches for that tech project last time.
Oh yeah.
So I have a domain. I have a Galnet domain. The server is up. Certificates are working. Open source license chosen, and I'm eyeing this weekend to get a preview link online. I don't know if anyone at Hutton would be interested in such a thing, but I can send that as well.
Yeah,
if you
put it up.
Yeah. If not this
Definitely.
weekend, then definitely next. We're being 4 days and all. So.
Oh well, we're timing you.
Yeah. Incidentally, that's probably more for Commander Palantir. Do you remember that really large settlement distance from the news?
Oh, yes, I still have that saved.
14,
Yeah.
in 14 Psi Cancri.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have the picture of that navigation panel?
I do have.
Your pic.
I can give us.
Don't worry if it would be an extravagance.
No, it's no. It's just a few seconds. That's all. Just talk amongst yourselves while I get on with something. Go on.
Oh well. So I was going to say that 9 billion figure.
Yeah.
Which that was exactly 2 to the power of 63. So
And falling.
You should. If anybody should know, it's you and Alex.
Well, I've seen so many computer errors, and the number of times a power of 2 is involved, it's almost every time. So whenever you see a strange number, so it's for the tech people, it's like the maximum for a signed 64-bit integer, but it's 2 to the 63.
Yeah, and so apparently it was a graphics driver that caused the problem. That gives you an indication of how much the graphics does.
It can be.
Yeah.
That's
a delivery driver.
Quotes.
That won't be rendering though. That will be if it's using the GPU cores to do computation.
Of course, yes.
For example, using OpenCL, or CUDA. That'll be why.
Yes, I thought it was a bit clever to render it badly.
Yeah. And also, if it wasn't for a Sirius Corporation ruining everything, I think my entry for that doggy name would be Sirius, the dog star, of course.
Clever.
You cannot be. No, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm not going to do that.
So serious.
No, does the apology officer want to do it? Best time.
Sorry.
Apology officer.
I get distracted momentarily and missed it.
Yeah. In any case, I think that's all for me. So I'll say thank you very much for the show. Hail the Empress.
Our pleasure.
And for the mug.
For the mug.
For the mug.
Right, I think it's me next, and I'm speaking to
You would
Commander
be
Jackman.
If you just bear in mind, I think Jackman was the other person who was causing us
See the
echo.
other echoey one?
Yeah, so I muted him. So I'm just going to bring him back in when I can remember which one of these it is. There it is. Unmute. Quiet. There we go.
Hello, Commander Jackman. How are you doing?
I'm all right, thank you.
Brilliant. Have you had a busy week?
Yeah, on Elite in PC land. I actually got to number 1 in your mission points. And then my best mate, Simon, or Mega Boontastic, kicked me off by 10 points.
Oh, your ex-best mate.
Yes, definitely ex-best mate. And he's listening now.
Yeah. Well, there's always this week, you know. You must have a Hutton decal by now
I have, yeah.
on Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah. Been there, done that. Mission Points is a good one. Mission Points, Passengers Transported is another good one. Probably a bit harder, but now that Alex Zuno's taking a sabbatical, Bounties are always a good one as well.
I haven't got a combat ship.
Okay, right, yeah, you don't want to be doing bounties then.
No.
Yeah, but passengers, if you can transport some passengers, that's the way to do it. I take it you're a splitter like me now. You've moved from Xbox to PC.
I have, yeah.
Yeah, splitter.
Not completely. Splitter. Not completely, but once the Frontier say this is the date, this is what we're going to do.
Yeah.
I will be coming completely over.
Yeah.
But then you still got the Xbox part to play anyway, so it's best of both worlds, isn't it?
Oh yeah. I mean, you're bringing everything with you, so you know why not?
Except for my name.
Except for your name, you can do something very similar though. You know.
I could do, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you get time to think about it though, and come up with something good though, haven't you?
Yeah, well, I reckon they're going to do it at the end of the year.
Yeah. You think so?
It's got to be, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's so hard. I mean, some of the Xbox and PS4, PS players.
Yeah.
Are going to want to do it. Then they're going to just do it one big lump and done. Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Wait till they're all drunk, then do it so they miss it, and then. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there'll be a window of opportunity. I know they have said that there'll be for a limited time. So yeah, it's when they do it, isn't it? But
yeah.
I'm ready to go as well. I think the only thing is I'm not going to sell my fleet carrier I've got out there. You're a fleet carrier owner, aren't you?
No.
No. What?
No.
Oh.
I put it this way: on a certain other commander's name, I did have. Long story short, how it happened, and I had to start over again.
Oh.
David knows all about it, but yeah, so I started all over again, and now I've got a cutter. I've got 8 billion in credits.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah, and my PC commander.
Yeah.
1.5 million.
Did you say million or billion?
Million.
Million, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I'm not that good.
Yeah, I was like that until I took Commander Chick's advice and get out there and did a bit of exploration.
Well, that's my next thing I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm not elite in any of the categories yet.
Yeah. But the other thing to remember as well is that's where community goals come in really good. They're really helpful. If you do a community goal, it's a good way. You don't need to contribute a lot. As long as you contribute something, you come away with a decent amount of money. Because, you know, if it's a trading one, the actual cargo makes you a decent profit and you get a payout at the end. So it's a good way to make money early on.
That's true.
Yeah.
What I have been doing with Mega Fantastic is doing a certain route.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether I should say it because
no, keep your trade routes to yourself. Don't share them.
It's 50,000 credits. For almost no work.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's worth it.
Yeah.
But anyway, thank you for letting me join again and for the mug.
For the mug.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
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 See ya.
So, Jim, Macclesfield's finest, Lithobreaker, how are you?
Greetings. I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Very good. Enjoyed the sofa gag, the DFS gag. Yes, very good.
Well, between the DFS and the FFS, I know. There was definitely a furniture store in there somewhere.
I've heard they've got a sale on.
Yes. Have they? Oh,
don't encourage them. Just don't encourage them.
So, Mr. Litho, what have you been up to since we last spoke?
I've been spared into action.
Possibly.
Wasn't me, honest.
No, it was Jack. He's gone. David's gone. You've been spurred into action doing what?
Well, it's going for gold 3. It's finally made me decide that it's time for my other me to come back from Distant Worlds 2.
Where is your other self?
Doing well, actually. I'm about 7,000 light years from Hutton space.
Oh, well, perfect.
So I'm like,
just
5/6 of the way back.
What point of the clock?
On the way back from a fairly straight line through from Colonia.
Oh, okay. So you...
Because I'm on the way back from DW2 in a long, long time. Sadly, I dumped most of my data in Hotcol about a year ago, and I haven't really played this character since. So, but I'll have something to contribute when I get back to the bubble.
Yeah, I don't know there's a point of interest about halfway out to Colonia, but if you're looking from the bubble towards Colonia, it's sort of on the left-hand side, and I don't know what it is, but if you imagine a route that goes around to the left, and then the straight line, there's quite a lot in the middle there, which is only lightly travelled. So you're in not a bad place to come in straight, run into the bubble. I feel like my microphone has died.
Oh, no, mine has. I'd let go of the push to talk button. I'm planning that if I get any time to play next weekend, I'm going to spend some serious time getting off the beaten path and actually scanning some systems. Do a little bit of mapping.
Yeah,
come back in with a few
surprising.
Maybe.
I'm out at the moment, and I just dipped down, and all of a sudden I was like, when you FSN is a planet, and I saw this thing on the screen, this yellow thing. I thought, what's that? I thought, shit, it's another commander's name. I thought, where the hell am I? And I went back to the galaxy map, and I was only 88 light years above. I thought, oh, God, got to get up 150, 200 and get back into Virgin territory.
Yeah, but it's amazing how flat the explored space is, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it really is. Mm. And you sort of, when you're jumping around, your route will naturally sort of take you, depending on how dense the star population is, and it depends what you've got set in your star filters route, if you have anything, if you have a filter set at all, how above and below the plane it will take you.
If there aren't many stars, light years is 2 or 3 jumps in a reasonable ship, so it's really not that far out of the way.
Yeah. So again, stay off the beaten path, and
indeed,
I think the next one talks about Goldilocks stars. So F, G, and K, which are the ones you're more likely to find
bears,
stars in the anal region, and above analysis on the full spectrum analysis on the bottom of the bar at the bottom.
Yeah, they're not too hot, they're not too cold.
No, just right. And you find a lot of. I found 10 Earthlights this week. Hang on, this is about you, isn't it? I'm talking about me.
Got you.
Ooh. So what else? What else have you been up to?
I've been on a trip to the far-flung corners of Oxford.
Ooh,
spent a few days. Abingdon, just outside Oxford, really.
Oh yeah.
We've got an office down there, and they're getting a new building, and I was setting up some switches for them.
The home of MG.
And I'll be back again next month for probably 2 weeks once the building's actually available, putting lots and lots of boxes in racks. Oh, that's
not
fun.
too far from me.
Oh, right. Let's see what else I've been up to in the last few weeks. Not a huge amount, really. A depressing amount of documentation and paperwork.
Oh.
And wishing I had more time to play Elite. No. Documentation and paperwork for the network I'm putting in. And for another one that's going in France next year. But that one I'm looking forward to more, because that's a really nice area of France, so just outside Toulouse.
Yeah, I think we...
I've been in Toulouse Airport, so it's almost my second home, Toulouse Airport.
Yeah. Home of the Airbus.
Had friends who used to live right there. Yeah, go on. Sorry, Jim, respect you.
You see some great planes flying around at Toulouse Airport because it's the home of the Airbus, and all of the weird Airbus cargo planes that carry other big Airbus parts are flying around. So
the guppies.
Yeah, they look just like those, and they're great to watch going over, and really low in the sky as well because you're just outside the airport. So
I'm trying to remember what the original airframe it was based on. It was a 300 or something. Anyway, must have been about 300. The first series of Yeah, they're quite weird looking. You think, ow, it's a bit like a bee, you know. How the hell does that stay in the air?
Carefully.
Yes, yeah, you don't
Yeah.
fly it like a fighter.
No. But no, I think that's probably about it for me. So for the mug.
For the mug.
And so it's me to talk to retired Navy. How are you doing?
Do I have to?
Oh.
I'm afraid of her.
Oh, you're not afraid of me, are you?
I've
all
heard
afraid of
stories
her.
about you, and I've even told people about it, but nobody would admit it until last month. They sat there and finally admitted it that you are mean.
Only with a rocket launcher.
I'm not really.
Well, I sat there and I picked up a G3 Dominator suit with a faster shield regen from Hutton earlier today, and no, you cannot have it. I'm going to use it to protect myself from you.
Yeah, I've been getting into the ground combat and really enjoy it. So, but I wouldn't really hurt anyone.
Yeah. No, you just kill
this
them.
is about
You
me.
just kill them straight off. No pain. Just cut your head off. Yeah.
Just straight to death. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
Flossies don't hurt
I know you
people.
said
Pans
faster.
hurt people.
Yes, I know you said faster shield regen, but I had bastard shield regen, and I think that's as a mod I would like to suggest where you get to just about one hit left, and you're just about to die, and your shields come up at full, and your enemy just goes, "Oh, you bastard!" Yeah,
I just like it is not hurt anything, and it's lucky that everything is dead, so it can't be contested.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. There's nobody left alive to argue.
Anyway, this is about you.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. It's about retired Navy, not me.
No, it isn't.
Oh, what have you been doing?
It's always about Flossy, no matter what anybody says.
She's behind you.
But no, I've been doing well, just staying out of trouble. Sitting there, and I picked me up a mug and a Century gin that I'll sit there and carry in the cargo hold just so I can sit there and try to get some more pirates to take me out and work on my airborne combat rating a little bit.
Right. Good.
Because for some reason or another they try to interdict you when you have rares on board. I don't know why.
Yeah, they're terrible for that, aren't they? Yeah. They always seem to know.
Yes.
But other than that, I've just been following along with the BTS and pulling my hair out, trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do and where. And I just figured I'm just going to play like I normally play.
That's all I do. I can't figure out the BTS.
That's what chicks is for.
There's nothing normal about mass genocide.
Yes.
Oh, now you tell us.
Yeah. Oh, in that case, I'm in a lot of trouble.
But anyway, I was able to stay throughout the whole show this month. Last month I had a boogie out early due to issues. But yeah, no, happy to be here and for the mug.
Thank you for the mug.
For the mug.
It leaves me to talk to Rhino1154, aka Palcon. How the heck are you?
That is me. I'm very well. How are you?
I'm
AKA anonymous TeamSpeak.
I asked the questions. Yes. Yes.
Yes, ask away, and thanks for having me on.
You're very, very welcome. How have you been doing in game? First of all.
Well, as we have been for the last 5 months, really fighting the eggy poos still.
Yes, they're tedious buggers, aren't they?
Yes, they go on, and we go on because they go on. It's a bit of a tug of war at the moment. They've managed to wrestle a couple of systems off of us. We're sort of wrestling a couple of systems off of them, and on it goes. But I'm very much involved in keeping things at status quo between us two at the moment. Although they have the numbers, we have the will, I think.
Yes. Yeah, and the friends.
Who is this will person?
Because he's always being fired at.
Friends and allies. We've lent upon those and had to, unfortunately, at times. But it's been a struggle. But that's what we've been doing, and that's what I've been doing. Unfortunately, my my exploration goes as far as the next combat zone. From one to the other at the moment, so it feels for the last 5 months since the 24th of December, actually last year.
Satisfying but tedious at the same time. Can't let the buggers win, can you?
No, it's a kind of double-edged sword, really. It really does lend a massive narrative to the game, and really sort of puts you, if anyone says that there's nothing to do in the game, then come and join our clan. There's not enough hours in the day at the moment, is the way it is. But yes, you can't grumble, and it changed the way we play a little bit, but only for the better, really.
Well, good. And everything else all right with you? Not that you've probably got no time to do anything else.
Well, yes, life goes on outside of the game. One of my friends has been stranded over in Turkey due to the IT difficulties with EasyJet. And so I'm sort of dealing with the washout in terms of her family and things that are going on with that. So she's had an extra week in Turkey, and I've had an extra number of children to deal with here, because she was on holiday taking her eldest daughter for her 18th for a treat for 1 week's holiday, which turned into 2 weeks holiday thanks to EasyJet's IT issues.
You sounded like you weren't sure of how many children you have. Are you the Prime Minister?
Sorry, was I coughing at a particular moment? I think over 3. We don't really need to count. I think it's if there's 3 in a room at any one time, then I'm happy with that.
Counting system. 1, 2, 3. You lot. That's how it goes.
Yeah, you lot, oi, and stop is what I've been saying a lot this week.
Oh.
Thankfully, they're all school age, so I do get some time in the day
to go and fight the eggy poos.
Yes. Yeah, well, that's what I've been having to do. Flossy, did you name your carrier? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, I named it Flossy's Fleet.
Oh my God, Flossy! Iconic. Such a good name. I suggested hot candy, as in candy floss, but you didn't name it that.
Hot candy.
Yeah, sounds far too racy.
From what I've been hearing, she's been very racy lately.
Will you wait till we have LaveCon and we do Dockers? Yeah.
Oh, well, yeah, that's in the life, that.
So yes, that's the flavour of this week. Eggy poos fighting and then sort of stopping the children fighting, I suppose.
Oh. Everybody was...
thanks for having me on. It's been a pleasure.
You're very welcome.
And to join in.
Last Thursday of every month. No.
I'm always there, my friend. Always there.
Lovely.
To the end.
Oh, good.
We need to know who's at the very end.
Yes, we do.
Oh, yeah.
I can't be heard.
Yes. It's got to be. It's got to be there. It's all queued up, ready. I've got the button all put there, ready for when we need it.
Funnily enough, there was a very large, what I considered to be a dog in my garden with a very long face. And the moment I saw it, it was going to be Aardvark.
Aardvark. I was muted. Aardvark.
That was very scary.
I was about to say, Mia, back me up.
Okay.
Yes, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
I bring with me all the thanks, etc., from the PowerCon group for all the help that you've been giving us over the last few months.
Very, very welcome. You've always been good to us, so we're happy to be good to you. Oh, isn't that lovely? Oh,
nice.
I think even I did a bit last week.
Yeah, I've been a little bit sick in my mouth as well.
Did some ground combat for you.
To talk as well, which is amazing. Thank you very much.
It's all right. Glad to help with the technology. Lovely, thank you. And is it for the mug from you?
For the mug.
The mug.
Mug.
Okay.
Now he's got a button. He just can't help himself. Look.
Oh, that worked out well because it's Aemilia to talk to Aemilia. Well, Aemilia, you and me. Look, why don't you and Mia talk together? Because you've got to get you to Mia and Mia to you. You do both together if you want.
All right, but before we do that, I just want to say a shout out to Dunpeel7830. He has just discovered our radio station, our Twitch stream.
Oh, awesome.
And he's joining us for the first time. He said he's been out to Hutton, but he went out there because he wanted to, not because he was tricked into it.
Yay!
Yes.
Very plausible.
We all believe you.
Yeah. That's why we all went as well.
And then we got signed up to indentured servitude.
Yeah, do yourself a favour. Don't land. Just jump straight back out again before they get you.
Anyway, Mia, how the devil are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Not so bad.
Okay, next.
Yeah, moving on. To be honest, we might be moving on pretty quickly because I haven't really done much this week. I'm on my way back. I went with my PC commander to visit my Xbox commander's fleet carrier. So I've done that. I've came back. I'm on my way back now, and I'm at my kind of halfway point. I've got a wee waypoint that I've set myself. So I'm there, and then I'll make my way back. And I've taken Chicks' advice and filtered my stars down to the ones most likely to have Earthlights around them. So that's the Fs and the Gs, or the F and Gs.
How dense the star population is.
Yeah, whatever.
But F and Gs, yeah.
I can't go with that. I've got 35 light year jump range. I need to take what I can get. So I'm doing that and make my way back. I haven't found any Earthlights yet, but I found loads of water worlds and loads of terraformable high metal content and
killing their keyboard.
That'd be Rhino.
Yeah. Push to talk. Push to talk.
It's
I thought I was off.
You're typing and hitting your push to talk button, you maniac.
I am. You're quite right, and I was tapping away in Discord. I'm so sorry.
How very dare you?
How
dare you?
The push to talk button.
Yeah. It felt that way. I had that.
Not use the push to talk button was the space bar.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I told you couldn't help yourself. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been doing a bit of jumping, a bit of exploration, and a bit of scanning planets and things like that. A fair bit of Wreckfest as well. I'm trying to get all the things in Wreckfest, so I'm having a lot of fun with that.
Are you going to take part in the Goethe?
Yes, I have approximately 300 to 350 million, which will be going into the Goethe slush fund.
Nice.
Yeah, so far so good. So, am I talking to you now? Have we switched? Have we switched this? Let's turn the tables. What have you been doing?
I've been working.
Oh, no way.
That's it.
You get your priorities all wrong.
I know, right? I mean,
yeah.
I'm such a bore.
Yeah, that's it. If you leave the work until tomorrow, it'll still be there. You know, in fact, it'll have grown. You'll have more of it, so that's not a problem.
It's cumulative. It builds interest.
Self-replicating. That's what it is.
But no, I mean, I'm looking forward to LaveCon. I've set that time aside.
Yeah, you haven't been before though, have you?
No, this is my first time, and it's also going to be my first live show.
God help you.
Yes, so this is all recorded.
Don't fall asleep at the bar. That's all I'm going to tell you is do not fall asleep at the bar.
No.
I get to do my For the Mug live.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be good.
And I'm going to ask everyone to turn off the microphones so I don't break anything.
Yes.
Which will be very good for the people listening, not on the internet. For that, and it'll be just
Yeah.
Oh yeah, is it going live out on the radio?
Oh yeah,
Oh
yeah.
Oh well, then everything's going to be damaged. Everything's going to break.
Grant will sort it out. Grant and Moof will sort it out. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Moof will just come out and swear at you. It's fine. Oh God,
Luckily,
you are Scottish. You will understand what he's calling you. Oh no!
I'm Scottish. I'll understand.
Yeah, you'll understand what he's calling you.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't sound Scottish anymore. I worked very hard to not sound Scottish anymore.
No.
Ta-da. Anyway, yeah, For the Mug, I'm great.
Excellent.
I'm just looking forward to LaveCon so much.
Yes, that sounds good.
Looking at the list,
for the mug.
So I think it makes sense for Chicks and Flossy to interview each other as the next two in line.
Okay.
Right.
Get to the chopper.
Get to the chopper.
Chicks,
All right.
you're alphabetically first, so Chicks to talk to Flossy. Go on.
Oh, hello, Flossy. How are you?
Hello, Chicks. I'm fine, thank
There's
you.
an echo on this.
Oh,
I've got a fast. No, I've got it. Never mind. So I'll put my scanning down for a minute, and I'll talk to you, Flossy.
Oh, I'm honoured. He's put his scanning down for me.
Oh, it's got a biological.
You have to go and investigate that.
I'm going to have to
I know I would.
investigate what all those bings are in the chat, I think, as well. Best to last. Oh, it's Aidan. Aidan's rocked up.
You two talk, and then I'll talk to Aidan.
We've already made plans for Aidan.
Yeah.
So, have you been in game much, Flossy?
Oh, yes, I've been in every day.
Just racking up the body count? Piling up the corpses?
Yeah, I've done a fair bit of on-foot combat, and I even did some for the paladins last week.
So, like suit and weapon-wise, are you all engineered up, or do you bother with that? Or?
No, I'm not. I'm trying to get them engineered up. I got about halfway through the engineers, and I'm stuck now because I need settlement defence plans.
Are they hard to come by?
Very hard to come by, yes.
Until
I get some, I can't get any further.
Are they not on 21's carrier, or are they,
Well,
so
he might
super
have
rare?
had some, but I don't know.
'Cause he keeps sort of pimping out his carrier as a sort of knockoff, dodgy,
Probably only idle of long gone, I
emporium.
would think. Because they're like, hen's teeth.
And do you do combat in teams with other truckers, or
Yeah.
are you,
Yeah, usually with Rampage and Vernon and
so you don't do like the Chuck Norris and just wade in there on your own and
not usually.
no.
Yeah, usually with Hanky and I keep forgetting the other guy's name. What's
Hanky too.
No, it's,
Him,
Oh,
yeah. Him.
I'm sorry, I've forgotten your name.
Yeah,
I can't
know
think
what you
of
mean.
it.
Him, yeah.
The one that may suddenly forget to watch your back next time.
No, there's usually a few of us anyway. Mostly Rampage.
I think we're going to have to amend the rules of combat, aren't we? Do you remember we did those at the start of Odyssey? Rule number 2 is never get in front of a Flossy.
Well, I do enjoy the combat, I must admit. So I can't do it in ships. I can't fly and fight at the same time. I never have been able to, in all my years of flight sim stuff.
It's no different than Aces High. We play Aces
That's
High.
it. I can't do it in Aces High.
Oh right, okay. Well, that's a major
And
drawback.
before that, I couldn't do it in Air
Warrior.
Warrior. I had people trying to teach me all the time, and I just could not do it. I ended up spinning into the ground. Well, of course, there's not as much gravity in space, but
Well, sometimes a lot more. Depends where you look.
well, yeah, exactly. It's
You
too
face plant into
complicated.
planets.
So, no, I can't fly and fight at the same time. So, I'll stick to the ground stuff.
You'll stick to walking and chewing gum. Laying waste
Ooh,
to
no, definitely not chewing gum.
chewing guns.
Guns, all right. So, yeah, when I haven't been doing combat, I've been doing missions to try and get more of the materials. And I did start doing the power-up missions for one of the engineers, but then I couldn't find any more of them. So, until I find more to do, I'm a bit stuck there.
So all the sort of suit and weapon materials, they're available from missions, are they? Is that sort of
there's a
on-foot
lot of
missions?
Yeah, either you can
Right,
pick them up going around places like Harry's Mine, or downloading data from there, or you can get them from missions. Some of them.
Oh, right. So it's not a case where you've just got to go and basically rob everything that isn't screwed down, or
No,
All
though
right,
it
so
is useful to get a lot of stuff that's not screwed down.
yeah. So you get them legitimately. Yeah. Oh, okay. It's part
Well,
of the game I've never
I
really.
don't know about legitimately, but breaking into settlements and going around opening up the lockers and things.
Most of my Odyssey experience, apart from the alpha, was running around waving Dysonators at plants.
Yeah, I have done a lot of that as well, but not recently.
I found a new one this week.
Oh, yeah?
That I'd never seen before. Crystalline shards.
Oh,
and
right.
it was all right. It was just like a big spike. But what was particularly useful about it is if you shoot the crystals off it, you get tellurium, which is a grade 4 material. So I went from next to nothing to having, I'd maxed it out in half an hour.
Crystalline shards, I mean, they've been around in Horizons as well, so...
Right, okay. They come up as a biological.
I don't know why they're biological. I thought it would be...
Yeah, they come up as a biological.
Hmm.
Maybe they were previously.
On the
because they have brain trees and bark mounds and stuff like that, and the...
that's right, yeah.
What was the meta-alloy? I
Hmm.
can't remember the name of the little Mount Fuji's with the white top.
Yeah.
I used to shoot metal alloys off. Can't remember the name of them. But they were around in Horizons.
Yes, there they were. So you've been doing more of your Dysonating, have you? This week?
I've done a little bit. What I've noticed is I've been doing more exploring. So the kind of stuff I get close enough to map tends to be the terraformals, and there's so far I've only seen 3 different biologicals.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not true. There were 6 on that planet, but generally you only get bacteria, which is really it's really not worth your while.
No, I
to go down and just scan those.
I usually give up looking for them.
They're hard to find as well. But if there's 3 or 4 signals on a planet, or if there's biological, bacteria and stratum is usually worth scanning.
Yeah.
Because some of those are worth 800 grand. So if you can pick those up and another one as well, I'll generally go down and hoover them up.
Yeah.
But these crystalline shards were useful, but of course they're no use to me now. I found one earlier, but it's pointless because I've maxed out on tellurium.
Oh, right.
Which is it's quite good having grade 4 stuff, because when you back in civilization, you can trade it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is good to trade stuff down.
So I went through 300 Earthlikes last week, and I found another 10 this week.
I don't know if I found that in the total.
I found a binary this afternoon, and and you're going up and down the FSS, and you finally get to the the green bit, and you go, and I went, oh, and I saw 2 like overlap, and then I zoomed into the next level, and there's 2 Earthlikes, the sort of the 5-pointed shape pointed away from. I thought, God, it's a binary, and I zoomed into it, and some bugger else had been there first.
Oh, shame.
Discovered and mapped.
Yeah.
That would have been nice.
Well, never mind.
What's super rare is you get 2 in a system, but binaries where they're orbiting together is really, really rare.
I've
found a few, but
I haven't had a lot of Earthlights together, but on Distant Worlds 2 I had 5 water worlds in one system.
That's good.
Yeah.
I found 5 round a brown dwarf once. It was really weird. all that was orbiting. It was these 5 water worlds. It was like, what? Very odd. Anyway, shall we let Harry talk? Oh no, he's going to talk to Aidan, isn't he?
Yes, I've
Call them up then. Yeah.
What's more important is Aidan has to talk to Harry.
No, that won't take long.
What is that? When Harry met Aidan?
Yeah. What I'm going to do is I'm going on Twitch. I'm just going to put up here. No, I'm not. Oh yes, I am there. That's the picture that Volcarius sent in. You'll see it in a few seconds.
Finished.
I know. I'll just put that up, and then I'm going to. All right. Now you have. Aidan, quick, get in before they start talking again. How the hell are you?
Look at that.
Galaxy Edge on.
Seamless.
What is that ship?
Go on, Aid. You're, all I'm getting is static, mate. Yeah, I get
what's the other
static when you're coming in. So I can tell you're connecting, but it's a worse wind tunnel than usual. No, maybe you should just use the push to talk, and we'll try and work it out in Morse.
Yeah.
This is great radio.
Which is good because I'll have to go out and learn Morse while we wait. Yeah.
It's all right. I can read it.
Oh, he's muted himself, so I guess not. Okay, well
Any better?
Yes, yes.
Yay!
Found the right button.
Well, more. I just unplugged the mic and plugged it back in again.
You IT expert, you.
Well, it does this every now and again. At which point I go, oh bollocks!
About every 4 weeks.
Yeah, I'm using a technical phrase there, chicks. But yeah, no. Just got back. Relatively recently got back from the pub, so I thought I would come along and say hello to people.
Hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. So how did you enjoy the show?
I caught the last, I must have been, I don't know, third or so of Aemilia's interesting egg-related
diatribe?
Diatribe, yes.
Eggscapade. Alright.
I thought it was funny.
Thanks.
You missed your shout-out earlier,
It was very interesting to listen to on the tube to see what to see various people's reactions.
You couldn't see it, but my hands were everywhere.
Hey, you've been warned about that. Warned them this time. Yeah.
That's why you're banned at Tesco's.
Well, according to some people, there's nothing wrong with a little bit of shoplifting.
Yes.
Depends what you're lifting and in which shop. Yes.
Yeah, don't do it in the car showroom. They really take a dim view of that one.
I think I seen that YouTube video just the other day.
Yeah, but other than that, bits and pieces here in game.
Yes, thank you for the agronomic treatment.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm quietly trying to fill up the Mercy with some water so I can move it over to 671, but I'm not expecting much to happen, in all honesty.
I was surprised how quickly they've been resolved. Because the other drought was over in no time.
Well, as far as I know, I mean, certainly, I think I only dropped off maybe 3,000 tons of, or at least 3,000 tons of agronomic treatment got dropped off, or at least got bought off of the Mercy.
Yeah, because it's medium pads as well, isn't it? So.
Yep.
It's quite a lot of shifting.
Yep. But currently parked just outside of Davies in Epsilon Eridani, quietly, shifting agronomic treatment off and water back on.
You could always, I don't know if you can choose, I don't know whether drought, it's blight, isn't it? I don't know if you can choose blight as one of the options in the galaxy map. You could just go and park your carrier in a system with blight and put a sell order.
I did. I had a sell order going whilst we were in Alpha C.
Yeah. But could you see that it was a blight system in the galaxy map?
I can't remember.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying that much of attention.
Park it there, it'll be gone, and have the wheels off it and everything.
But yeah, so largely I'm just, parked in Eridani just to, get rid of the vast amounts of agronomic treatment I've still got.
Mm.
But, other than that, nothing exciting really going on, so it'll be
how's the RPG going?
Yesterday we had latest game was us versus 30 odd goblins.
Nice.
And whilst your general warrior types were going, no, you're trying to break through the wall that consists of us warrior types. Your basic goblins, your key threat to us is through statistics, because at some point you will actually hit us. But you gotta hit us multiple times for us to go down, and whilst you're trying to hit us, you're not able to get at our wizards, who are going, oh, kaboom and kablam at various groups.
Nice. If I ever get the free time, I will be joining you.
Okay, give me a heads up, and I'll see what I can do.
Okie dokie.
But yeah, other than that, really, it's a plated mammal that has been known to roll up in a ball and be
Armadillo?
not at all bold at people.
Armadillo?
Oh, I thought aardvarks also could roll up.
Yeah.
Aardvark!
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 We chose to be playfully silly. It's understand for comedic purposes. That didn't work. Right.
Comedic purposes. Nah.
We're at the end of this show. You could ask me what I've been doing again. I've just had a quick look at, in EDSM, if you're registered with it, you can go and look up your heat map in your profile to see how many systems you've been. I've got 1 dot at the end of June last year and 2 dots in January.
So what have you been doing then, Harry?
I've been
cooking is what he's been doing.
Yeah.
Going dotty.
Cooking, driving my wife an hour and a half around the M25 for getting her hair cut with the same person who's done it for the last 35 years. So, yeah,
every day?
No, just one day. I'm preparing the show and, as you say, cooking, doing lessons or whatever. So yeah.
Going to the theatre?
Not in the last 7 days, no. But yeah, I have done, yes.
Oh, yeah, not in the last 7 days. No. Oh, my God, you Philistine.
Well, there were some years when I'd go to 60 different plays in 1 year.
Yeah. Oh, no, I know you love the theatre.
But, no, I've got so much money now because we haven't been 2 years. But,
oh, no, how terrible for you.
Yeah, but I will also show this. We're talking of eggs. Put it up on Twitch there. It's a bit distorted but this was from our ECM in 2019 in Manchester. It was a raffle prize, and I won it. And it was an egg from Zeonce that I won. And we drove back from Manchester, and I think it was on the back seat of the car, and there was a lot of sun around. And it melted, and that does it does say from Zeonce, I think the xenomorph escaped by the time we got home.
Yeah. Did they eat the Thornton's classic chocolates as well?
Yes, it did. Yes.
The bastards.
Bastards. Yeah. There's no depravity unknown to them.
Yeah. That was it. So, okay. Oh. Shall we retire ourselves back to leave these people in peace for a bit?
Somebody need to hold the door open for me. I don't know. I
get me.
I remembered who it was. This name I forgot before. It was Infinite Dreamer.
Okay.
Yeah. And of course, was Dead Mate. He often joins us as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay, lovely. Let's put Potter back to the live room. And I've moved one of the feeds back, so I'm just moving people across. And are we all back?
That smell's still here.
I'm back.
Well,
do you think it's got worse?
We're in space. You don't think I'm going to open the window to air it out, do you?
Yeah.
Well, we've done stupider things.
Yeah, we've done stupider things
this evening. We've definitely done stupider things. Yeah. We've done stupider things in the last half hour.
Oh, well, lovely show, everyone. Thanks for everybody for joining us in the green room. That was great fun. It's really nice to have the opportunity to talk to people, see what they've been doing. So, and if you're listening to this as a recording, you think, oh, that would have been nice. Last Thursday of the month, come along and join in.
Every month.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whether it's got an hour in the month or not, we still do it. And we'll be here
talk to us.
Every Thursday, except the one immediately before LaveCon, because we'll be doing a live show at LaveCon.
I won't.
No, I'm sorry about that. I am
you're
sorry.
not.
I am.
What happened?
And should someone want to talk to us on a green room night, what is the TeamSpeak address that we should be typing
Helen knows that.
Yeah, but she shows off when she does it. Somebody else should have a go just to show they've memorised it. She knows it.
Except I missed the dot off out of after TS.
Oh no, really?
That explains why there weren't 200 people in the green room.
Is it ts.forthemug.com?
I just take it that people know there's a dot when I.
Yeah. I think it's telling people now is all very well, but they'll forget next month because you know what people are like. You listening, you know what you're like. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell them next month.
The Dumpy or something. Did we give that? Did they give us that station, or did our faction pick it? They didn't give it to us. We found it. Yes, we fought for it. We fought for it. We had a
Fantian get in there and licked it.
Yep, and we had a community goal to bring the mug into the game. Where loads of us flew backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. Hey, you think flying out to Hutton once is stupid? Doing it, yes, quite. Doing it all day, every day for a week. Yeah, and evading pirates.
Point at Hutton, go for a walk, come back.
Yeah. and then watch out for the code pirates who were actually blockading us. That was quite exciting. That was change your flight suit every couple of trips. That was a.
I always remember Swift Arrow being one of the pirates, and he was the most gentlemanly pirate I've ever come across.
No.
Oh, nice one, Swift Arrow.
That was back in the day when all this was now fields.
Yes. No, but Black Star Fields.
And nobody had any legs, so nobody could talk about it. Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
you couldn't even fly a ship on Xbox in those days.
No.
Yeah, we were all legless.
Yes.
Well, we did have legs. You used to look down at those.
Oh, you could see them.
Yeah.
Things.
Yes.
Remember those?
They look like camels.
I don't know. The nice thin legs I've got.
Except when you're in VR, in which case you can see it down your neck. But thank you to our listeners for sticking with us. Thank you to the crew for being great company as always. And we didn't screw up too much, and there were almost no seams so far. Still plenty of time to screw it up. So I think
certainly,
Except for the jump video.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Then that was the show was fine. It was the idiot who edited this afternoon.
And the ts.forthemug.com. And that bit where I was typing when I still had my mic open.
And that bit where I needed you to back me up saying aardvark.
And I had myself muted then, though.
And the bit where you said something before people took their headphones off.
For the monk!
Too slow.
I was giving you a chance.
All done.
No journey too long and no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. Loading up the T-9s to the brim with grain. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug. Flossy always seems to crash into the sun. Swivel likes the pilot on the Xbox One. Alvin at the front, you know he leads us well. Trucking across the galaxy, now everybody yell. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. day. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. So shout it out loud like you don't even care. Father Berg, yeah, you know just where I'm coming from. Father Berg, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. Father Berg, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. Father Berg, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song.
For the mug.
Seamless.